Hey everybody, it's StickVet, your friendly neighborhood veteran, and this is the beginning of a new video series. In my comics, I draw the different Stick characters and the demons that they carry, and it's time that I describe each of them in detail. I'll talk about the veteran's relationship with each one, and the shadow belief structures associated with these aspects of self that I draw as demons. This is part one of the demons that we carry. Death. My first comic was about StickVet and death. Death approaches and Stick is like unfazed while Civilian runs away. Death bums a smoke and Stick makes a corny joke. It is simple, but conveyed a lot. Our relationship with death is completely changed. Not that it's healthy now. I don't think the veteran's relationship with death is a good thing, but it's quite different, and what it will grow into with maturity is not something that can come from the guidance of Civilian sector. Veterans have a comfortable complacency with death. It's like a romance that lost its spark. We used to get all excited about death. In training, we would think of that moment in which we get the opportunity to kill the enemy, wondering if it'll happen. Like having a dinner date and fantasizing about getting laid afterwards. Soldiers talk smack about how much they don't care about dying. That fear is kept secret. Slowly we let go of it. Maybe out of shame of doing what's necessary to become a warrior. We start this little romance with death. The courtship continues as death is the best part of being a warrior. All over every single military base are depictions of the Medal of Honor heroes. Usually there's like a little brief about the heroic moment, dispatching multiple enemies or saving American lives through an act of certain death, though some miraculously survive. But in each case was a story of one who fully embraced death to the point that they found something within themselves in that embrace. And they then acted like the greatest warrior one could imagine themselves as. All from some hinted power within yourself that unlocks if you would only fully embrace death. The whispers of death are no longer bone-shaking. Now it becomes a fantasy. When the warrior dreams about their clutch moment, a culmination of all the action movies their imagination toolbox can muster, all in a grand sacrifice. The relationship with death becomes more comfortable as you dream of your future together. Surviving war is like being stood up by a date. As the war is down to weeks left, you start wondering if she's gonna show up at all. But you keep your cool and you trust that she's gonna be there. She's just running late, you tell yourself. But as time ticks by and left seat, right seat takes place with the new unit replacing you, a realization starts to settle in. She's not gonna show up at all. That fantasy of eternal legacy through a blaze of glory fades. It breaks our heart. So, of course, cleansing our relationship with death involves finding love in your life once again. And it's hard putting yourself out there after your heart is broken, which is why veterans are stubborn about connecting with love once again. Not just love for other people, but being able to allow yourself to be loved, to allow yourself to live, to feel love once again. It's all rooted in your relationship with death, for she has pulled you away from your true love, life. Our relationship with death is the first major change when becoming a warrior. Now let's get into the demons that we carry from our military experience. In StickVet comics, all the demons that I draw can be categorized into three primary aspects: predator, prey, and witness. These are the three manners in which a human being can interact with evil, to put it simply. Predator, when you are hurting others. Pray when others are hurting you, and witness when you perceive other people hurting each other. War provided an opportunity for all three of these to take hold. We were there to kill the enemy's trying to kill us, and we witnessed the civilian populace being killed or enemies attacking each other. Even the war-torn landscape tells a story of evil atrocities that you bear witness to. So let's start with Predator. Predator demon is what fills the void when we make the required sacrifice to become a warrior. We were prepared to take on the Predator demon. It's the corruption to our very soul that each warrior accepts. It's a somber sacrifice because we may be destroying our chances at a heavenly afterlife we were taught about as children, dooming our souls to eternal darkness for the sake of those we sacrifice for. In those early days, those who grew up atheistic will puff their chest at believers, showing off how easy it is for them to accept this sacrifice. But they're just disconnected from the pain in their own spirit. We do what is necessary to convince ourselves that we want to be a cold-hearted killer. We look forward to the opportunity to test our mettle. When the Predator demon finally leaches into our soul, it whispers, "You and me till the very end." We accept this demon as part of us with a smile on our face. For we are at one with the warrior within, till death do you part. Just like a prey will take any situation and change the narrative so they are the victim, Predators can take any situation and turn it into a fight they can win. Predator sees everyone as out to get them. Everyone's a potential enemy. Both have delusional perspectives of people because every situation has to fit into this narrative, skewing from the truth. So this mindset is based on two belief structures: perception of others' intentions and perception of your narrative role in any situation. So cleansing the predatory mindset starts with letting go of your need for an enemy. It's a cleansing of your protections that allow you to be open to others. Which is why it's difficult to let go of the predator. The demon will convince you that it's necessary even in civilian sector. It says, why would you get rid of something that has kept you alive? I still need to protect myself from and protect my loved ones. But in reality, the longer you move through the physical world as a predator, you will cause pain to those you love. You will see them as your enemy. It's always easier to stay in an abusive relationship than face the truth that you need to divorce yourself from it. The veteran learns to be peaceful, but carries a knife at their side. You don't lose the warrior nature just because you let go of it. But rather than dominating your persona, it becomes something you can activate and deactivate. It becomes a tool, rather than the demon of the predator using you as a tool. The path of divorcing predator is a path towards peace through repentance for that which you are guilty of. It's about accepting responsibility and letting go through forgiving yourself. Pray. As much as predator is connected with guilt, we associate the experiences in which we are the victim with shame. In moments when a horrible evil is happening, the brain separates those memories from our usual categorization of memories and puts them into your mental shame box, a space kept separate from your other memories. Prey is the demon we keep secret, but that effort is also keeping her close enough to tell you a very convincing story, weaving your mind's narrative. Prey could be described as the demon of helplessness and shame. She keeps you in the victim mindset through both narrative control and disassociation from reality. Every helpless situation you encounter in life will be another piece of evidence that the world is out to get you. Prey will attach your spirit and convince you that the lies she whispers are the truth. You can't trust others, and you deserve the trauma that you experienced. Prey is very manipulative, and she is much like addiction. When it comes to that feeling of being a victim and a feeling of helplessness, you get an emotional comfort in validating the victim mentality, not to mention the sympathy from others and the emotional manipulation of social situations. It's a self-reinforcing dopamine spiral. Playing the victim. What a drug. Letting go is accepting responsibility for your own healing, and acknowledging the trauma you endured, and forgiving those that harmed you. You don't need to have those who harmed you present. You don't need them to apologize. They don't even need to exist anymore. The forgiveness isn't for them, it's for you. It's a process of finding peace through releasing your own hold on to the resentment and pain so that you can take back control of your life's narrative. Which leads us to witness. Kabir says, what you understand is who you are. Witness is about learning through observing. The kind of learning that changes your perspective and worldview. Witnessing the atrocities of war darkens a warrior's perspective of the world, of society, of humanity. These belief structures are the framework for your identification of self, your role in community, and all the opinions that you form. It's like witness can manipulate the hub of the wheel, from which all things you think spoke from. War is a great teacher, but it's only half the lesson. And childhood cartoons taught us that knowledge is the other half, right? Each big part of my own path has been coming to some resolution of war trauma, or coming to an understanding of my own meaning from my war experience. Working out a trauma wasn't about just talking about it to feel all the horrible emotions, although that's absolutely part of it, and that totally happens. But the point is to learn the other half of what the lesson was that war was trying to teach you. It was almost like the nightmares I had were because I had unfinished lessons, homework still to do. I needed to learn to the point of it all. I already had done the painful part, but I had to do the work to actually learn the lesson and apply it to my life. The evil that we have borne witness to creates a filter that we see the world through, corrupting your own perspective of the world around you. When you change your perspective of the world around you changes. Wayne Dyer. This is true in both directions. As you learn about a world full of enemies, wars, and conflict, witness becomes a lens that we see the world through, darkening our perspective and warping our understanding. Witness will guide you into the cesspool of your worst existence, wallowing in self-pity and scoffing at the light of hope and faith that could guide you out. Hope can start the guiding path out of darkness, but faith is the core part of this cleansing. For it is in understanding the flow of the universe and your role in that harmonic symphony that you can find faith in, no matter what you call it. I had to. in order to get over myself and let go of the belief that the world is a chaotic and unforgiving hell. It's a salty truth to understand that the world does not happen to you. No. Everything happens for you. Predator, prey, and witness. These three are the hierarchy of demons that we carry. As I describe the other demons in future videos, you will see that they tend to be a form of either predator, prey, or witness. If you find value in these videos, please support me on Patreon. I got merch in my online store, and if you're interested in these deep discussions, we talk about these topics on the Stick Nation Discord. You're welcome to join. We do a Not a Counseling group every Tuesdays and Thursdays, where stick-minded people gather together, working through the hard work of climbing this mountain together. Godspeed, Stick Nation.